Shadron Turner, back in his roots here, wins your USRA B-Mod feature event, and a good one to the drop of the checkered flag.
Yep, he's going to turn right back around for this USRA A-Mod feature and try to do it one more time as we get set for our final feature of the evening, our USRA Modifieds presented by Mel Hamilton Racing. Here is your 26-car starting grid for tonight's 25-lap A-Main. On the pole out of Springfield, Missouri, car number 75 is Old TP Terry Phillips. It is outside from Cameron, Missouri. The 08 is Mark Dotson.
Runner-up at the King of America Modified Nationals in car number 1B from Hermitage, Missouri, the Whites Marine Center entry for Bobby Williams. And to the outside from Elk City, Oklahoma to the 9L, you'll find Vince Lucas.
Your inaugural Northern Lights Modified Series champion and Fall Jamboree champion here in 2025. Starting fifth out of Hayfield, Minnesota, the 50 to the third is Brandon Davis. At his outside, he currently sits second in USRA National Points. Out of Winona, Minnesota, the 87H is Harley Dice.
This driver's had a solid start to the weekend. And car number 21 in from Akini, Iowa. It'll be Ben Nading starting seventh. The two is outside the Gator Graphics Hughes race cars number 68 from Warrensburg, Missouri. It's Dean Willie.
Starting on the inside of row number 9 from Urbana, Missouri. Car number 8, welcome home. It's Dylan McCallan. At his outside from Baldwin City, Kansas. The 17C is Henry Chambers.
Starting 11th out of Rushford, Minnesota, aboard the number 15. It's Alex Williamson with Nick Bittiger in his CDR Racing chassis. Number 3B out of Perry, Kansas starts 12th.
Nick Roberts rolls off 13th at Des Moines, Iowa in the 23 JR. To his outside, it's Drake Long at Stillwell, Oklahoma in the 17 JR.
In the Harris Auto Racing 21K from Madrid, Iowa, Kyle Brown will start 15th tonight. And your B-Mod A-Main winner just a moment ago has to hop out of the cockpit of that car directly in to his Skyrocket number 56 from St. Joseph, Missouri. Starting 16th is Shadron Turner.
The engine builder, Kevin Stoa, out of Albert Lee, Minnesota, and car number 98 rolls off 17th. And to his outside, it's Jason Payton out of Greenwood, Arkansas, in car 6.
With Brandon Givens starting 19th tonight, he's out of Wichita, Kansas, in car number 10B. The Candyman, Josh Anks from Winona, Minnesota, aboard the 99.
Starting 21st out of Hermitage, Missouri, the 10P, it's Dayton Persley, and to his outside, out of Winona, Minnesota, the number 95, this is Keith Foss.
Scotty Roberts from Columbia, Missouri is driving car number 25 tonight. He'll start 23rd to the outside. Wyatt Gajero from Wichita, Kansas in the 15W.
Starting 25th out of Bay City, Missouri, the 73B, that is Shad Batter. It is outside from Cameron, Missouri, 26th and final starter on the field. The number 18 is Brad Johnson. Quick note, the 15W of Wyatt Gajero is scratch for this A-Main. So 26 scheduled starters looks like we'll roll off with 25. Trenton, what do you got?
Hey, I know you two boys love mod racing just like I do. What a wild field. There's nowhere in the country on any other night, as I just continue to eat another mouthful of dust. We have got to get a water truck on this access road tomorrow right here. Anyway, there's no other race we're going to get an eclectic group of cars that are just like this right here. I mean, you know, Eric, I looked at that. We had 14 cars between here this weekend of the Modifieds between the Northern Lights, the Heartland Tour, that, you know, you easily say, you know, run a ton of races at our shows, which is awesome. They don't really get together a whole lot. It's neat to see them here at the USRA Nationals, plus a good contingent of other local cars and regional cars too to throw it in the mix. So what a wild group that's here. And this one right here, this is what I'm super excited to watch play out all weekend and see who we crown as a champion, because I'll tell you, I really have a hard time picking a favorite right now. I think this thing's pretty wide open.
Yeah, I would certainly agree with you in the storylines throughout the field from, like you said, such an eclectic group. You got the 1B of Bobby Williams, the current Heartland Modified points leader. You got the 50 to the third of Brandon Davis, who polished off the inaugural NLMS championship, as well as the Fall Jamboree win last week. Harley Dice, a true rookie in the Modifieds, currently sits second overall in national points. Skipped the Fall Jamboree last week and made the total lot in Oklahoma to compete in USRA competition for points reasons. Ran the Winter Nationals down there. You look at the 8 of Dylan McCallan, a late model ace the last couple of years, coming home to run another modified race. Nick Bittinger, the track champion here at the Lucas Oil Speedway. Shadron Turner, Brandon Givens, both in the thick of that Heartland Modified Tour race. Just all kinds of storylines from the front to the back of this field, whether it be a regional, local, or national type of driver. It doesn't get any better than this right here at the USRA Nationals as the lights go out for 25 laps.
feel like a driver you're going to have to watch throughout this one. Keep your eyes on that 17 of Henry Chambers. He's really good at ripping the lip here. We'll see what happens. The lights are out. The guns come out. 25 laps in distance. Your USRA modified feature event here on the Wednesday night lid lifter for the USRA Nationals is underway.
Oh, man, a good start for the 75 and Terry Phillips immediately out to a 4-5, now 6-car length lead down the back straightaway into turns 1 and 2. He leaves the 08 of Mark Dotson to fend off the 1B of Bobby Williams. The top three work their way off of turn 4. It's Phillips that leads lap 1.
Well, he's got the whole bloodline cooking right now on car number 75. TP trying to run away from the field into that Don Babb Motorsports Cursed Industries number 75. Down the back straightaway. Quickly, Bobby Williams to second here. A couple of cars getting together down the back straightaway. They get it ironed out here nonetheless, Eric, as we roll off of 4. Williams is in second. Mark Dotson has been relegated to third. And the 50 to the third after a dominant heat race run earlier by a 10-second victory. The 50 to the third of Brandon Davis, your most recent Featherlight Fall Jamboree champion on Saturday night with the USMTS, working on third down the back straightaway.
Yeah, right now trying to dig underneath the 08 of Dotson, that 08 car again, another new to him, Mullins chassis out on the speedway as Davis going to deposit that car back to fourth that time by the line. Harley Dice following in the wheel steps of his NLMS competitor as they roll through turns 3 and 4.
TP looking for his 6th win of the year. As we roll back into turn number 1, 2 of those in a super late model. They're looking for his 4th in an open wheel modified here this season. And this may be the best he's looked in quite some time outside of when he's in the new Mullins chassis, of course. But this is the most solid he's looked in his Bloodline race car in a little while. TP looking really good right now. He is hooked up around the bottom of the Lucas Oil Speedway. He's able to keep Bobby Williams pretty well at bay. Has a nice insurance policy right now on this one on lap number 5.
Stop me if you've heard this before. Brandon Davis currently the fastest car on the racetrack by about 16 one-thousandths of a second. Him and Terry Phillips in lockstep as far as time. Bobby Williams right there as well in lap times as Davis trying to reel in that 1 to the B in a battle for the 2nd spot.
And again, the fastest car to the racetrack that time by as well is Brandon Davis of the 19077. As TP up there, 2nd quickest car with a 19111 for what it's worth. But track position so very valuable right now as TP up front by his lonesome, working the wheel and working it well in clean air. As now the 50 to the third working on the back of the 1B for 2nd. He'll roll it into 1. Davis going to change his lineup for the first time in this race, Eric, and he'll go to the top in 1 and 2.
Hey, you want to talk about somebody that's already gained a lot of positions? How about Brandon Givens, started 19th, already up to 11th in the opening 6 laps of this one, plus 8 in just 6 laps. Keep your eye on the 10B. I've said it before. He really likes this racetrack. Running well here in the opening stanza of this one as we near the 10-lap mark.
No doubt. Nick Bittiger out of Perry, Kansas as well started 12th. He is up to 6th, so he's advanced 6 positions as well for that CDR Racing chassis number 3 machine. About to maybe make some business decisions here in about, I'd say, maybe 6 or 7 more laps if this race stays green. But Terry Phillips right now, the last time by a 1.552 second lead. We'll keep our eyes on the differential right now, but continues to have a nice insurance policy over 2nd running Bobby Williams.
Yep, Bobby Williams starting to feel maybe a little bit of pressure now, is ever so closer. Here comes the 50 to the third. Nose to tail down the front straightaway. Battle for the 2nd spot, heating up back into turns 1 and 2.
Down from 1.5 to 1.427 that time. Bobby Williams looking to chip away at it. Not sure he's going to have enough, though, to erase a 1.4 without a costly mistake being thrown from the 75 to the 1B as Terry Phillips up front doing Terry Phillips things, the National Dirt Late Model Hall of Famer, hustling out front here in his home state of Missouri.
Oh, Terry Phillips had issues in turns 1 and 2 that time, lost a lot of ground. All of a sudden, Bobby Williams and the 50 to the third of Brandon Davis just a few car lengths back of the 75. That's going to make things interesting as all 3 of them now going to catch traffic nearly at the right time. As
Williamson.
bright as I say that, Alex Williamson, the 15W around in turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, tough break. Didn't see what happened to Alex over there. He's been one of the fastest cars here all night long, man. Really good race in there. They start to shave it down. It was 1.6 down to 1.5 to 1.4, now to 1.3. And if they were able to keep that up, they would have been there by the time that checkered flag fell, depending on what lap traffic did. As we'll get a look here at the FK Roddins instant replay.
Yep, FK Roddins instant replay you see in your screen looks like maybe the Dylan McCown and 15W of Williamson getting together potentially. Kind of was at the very top end of the screen. Hard to see exactly what happened. But the 2 of those cars were definitely in screen there when the 15W went around. So not sure exactly what the situation was, but nevertheless, the 15W, unfortunately, tough go of it here as we'll get one more look at it. Maybe as we see
Looks
right
like
at the top of our screen.
Yeah. Well,
See, it just kind of comes into view off the top of the screen there as you were watching some of those cars roll down the front straightaway.
I saw on that FK Rod instant replay as well that the 99 of Josh Hanks was kind of out of sorts there as well. So really a good time for the caution to fly for him. If you look at it once again, look at him right here. He's kind of out of sorts, getting back into one. And he makes the car really skinny right here. Does a good job to avoid Williamson right there.
Yeah, I kind of tried to pay attention to the top of the screen that time as they showed that replay again and again. You know, Alex Williamson already kind of going around in the top of that as we're going to get it reeled back just a little bit more. Pay attention to the top of the screen right there. I mean, the two are right close to each other. You don't know if maybe Williamson had some kind of an issue and slowed up, and that's what caused the Ada McCowan to get into him. It certainly looks like maybe there was some contact. Hard to really tell exactly what happened there.
This should get pretty good on the restart. Bobby Williams, runner-up here in the King of America Modified Nationals. A lot of people felt like that was his coming-out party as far as the A-Mod ranks go. We know what he can do in a B-Mod. Won over 20 races a year ago and the year before that. Moved up to the A-Mods last year. And, man, I talked to Bobby in the pits at Arrowhead Speedway a couple of months ago, and I said, man, are you enjoying it? You know, what's the learning curve like? And he said, man, to be honest with you, I wish I was winning a little bit more. I mean, everybody wants to win a little bit more, but, man, he said it's been a blast, and he really, really enjoys the challenge. And he has no bigger challenge here than to dethrone a former National Dirt Late Model Hall of Famer with Terry Phillips up front with your race lead.
Well, he does maybe lack the winning consistency behind the wheel of the 1B, where he has been very consistent this year, especially on the Heartland Modified Tour Trail. Very, very good qualifier. He's been able to put himself at the front of heat races. He's been consistent in getting himself into the A mains, starting in the front half of the field, finishing races consistently, and that's what's got him right now. Although by a slim 4 points going into the final two shows, that's what's got him on top of the board with the Heartland Modified Tour.
And Brandon Davis, as we've alluded to a couple of times, rolls in here to Lucas Oil with his head held high after winning the Featherlight Fall Jamboree last Saturday night at his home racetrack at Deer Creek in Spring Valley, Minnesota. And he'll be in the catbird seat right here on this restart. As good as that car has been, we'll see what he can do. But Terry Phillips going to lead this field back into turns 3 and 4 on the restart. 11 scored in this one of this 25-lapper. Eric, we're back underway.
Here we go. Terry Phillips will drop it off the bottom of turn number 4. Here comes Bobby Williams and Brandon Davis side by side into turns 1 and 2. Davis through the middle part of the racetrack. Car rotates really well, gets good drive. They're still side by side as Phillips tries to streak away down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4.
That's what Terry's really hoping for. He would love to see out of his proverbial rearview mirror right now a full of the 1B and the 50 to the third racing side by side, but that's not the case. Brandon finally just shook free of the 1B of Williams, and now he dials up the crosshairs with the back dick lid. Good news is, TP, you're the race leader. The bad news is, Brandon Davis is coming quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Absolutely. Brandon Davis now squarely set his sights on the backside of the 75. Off a turn at number 4. Just about 2 car lengths separate your leaders back in a 1 and 2.
Rolling into 1. Brandon Davis going to change his lineup down here. He'll take a quick sneak and a peek of how you doing. Keep it moving down the back straightaway. That car has so much drive down the back straightaway, right through the slick. Here comes Brandon Davis, sizing up TP for the race lead. A slip right there from the bottom of the race, side by side underneath the flag stand as they roll back into turn number 1. Good racing here for the top spot. Brandon Davis trying to take another sneak and a peek to the inside, and TP says, no, you don't.
Terry Phillips knows his way around this place as well as anybody else. It's right in his backyard. Phillips right now managing to fend off the charge from Brandon Davis in 50 to the third. You're watching the leaders on screen, half a car length between them as they roll back into 1 and 2. This time Davis going to dial up the top side of the racetrack, try to keep the wheel straight, the momentum rolling off the top side of the racetrack, but Phillips just as fast off of turn 2.
Well, if TV could somehow hold off the 50 to the third, he would have a huge shot in the arm of confidence after this one here tonight. Brandon Davis knocking on the door once again, a TP for the top spot. Good racing as well for third here. Harley Dice having a hell of a run tonight at the 87. Rolling back into turn number 1, Alex Williamson back inside of the top 5. And Mark Dotson.
Yep, yellow out for Mark Dotson. The right side of that race car looks like it's been hammered. As Dotson going to roll that thing back into the pit area. He's gotten the wall at some point with that right rear as he shoved that, the entire breakaway side of that spoiler shoved over to where the main section of the spoiler starts. So unfortunately Dotson running into some kind of a problem. And man, I'll tell you what, with 9 laps to go in this A feature Trenton Berry, Brandon Davis has done everything but blow by the 75 at Terry Phillips. He is all over the backside of Terry Phillips' number 75 Bloodline race cars.
Man, he's right there. I wonder if he's showing his hand here with what he's got left in the tank, or if he's holding a little back right for the stretch run. We'll find out here for sure in just a handful of laps. But man, some great runs out here tonight. This has been exciting. This has been a longer, continual, slicker Lucas Oil Speedway surface than I recall seeing here in quite some time. Track's held up really good tonight. Been pretty good racing.
It really has.
Absolutely, it has, as we check on some of the other movers throughout the field.
Williamson right now 11th up to the 5th spot of the 15W. Remember, he got turned around over there and 1-2 a couple of cautions ago, but he did get his spot back, and right now he's got a chance.
Yep, Given's the biggest mover right now, 19th to 7th, plus 12 for the 10B. He'll refire on the outside of that third double file row. Scotty Roberts, 23rd to 13th, the guy getting his feet wet again in the modified division. So good run for Scotty Roberts, all things considered, here tonight behind the wheel of that race car. You mentioned Alex Williamson. How about Nick Benninger? Plus 6, 12 to 6. Shadron Turner, 16th to 10th so far. As we roll back through the rest of the field, some of the other guys, spots, plus 5, plus 3 here, things like that. But your biggest movers right now, Brandon Givens and Keith Foss, 22nd to 11th. Want to give him a tip of the cap as well.
Terry Phillips has yet to make a mistake in this main event to allow the 50 to the 3rd Brandon Davis to pounce. And we'll see what happens here with a 9-lap dash to the checkers, as Terry Phillips leads this USRA modified feature event back to the green flag as they punch their ticket down the front of Main Street in a 1-2 here on the restart.
Brandon Davis got a really good start and immediately shakes free of the 1B of Bobby Williams. Williams going to try to challenge back to the inside, but it's not enough, and that allows Davis to stay in touch with the 75 of Terry Phillips and mount the charge once again. Off of turn number 4, Phillips going to roll to the middle part of the racetrack. Davis just to his left. They're going to stair-step their way back into turns 1 and 2.
Williamson trying to get one more spot to the good as well in the 15W car. He'll throw it up top, let the big dog eat off of 2, down the back straightaway, but Dice battles back down to his inside. Good run tonight for Harley Dice as Brandon Davis continues to take stabs for the race lead. He just diamonded himself off of 4, down to the inside of Terry Phillips for the race lead. This may be it right here, Eric, into 1.
Yep, this might be the storybook ending of the night for Brandon Davis as he rolls underneath the 75 of Phillips, going to edge ahead into turns 3 and 4. Back to the bottom of the racetrack. Davis once again dials it up. Phillips can't do anything about it. New leader, Brandon Davis, in 50 to the 3rd.
And Dyson Williamson just split the in and outs of the 1B of Bobby Williams, relegated him back to 5th, and here comes Brandon Givens now. That Pomeroy Services number 10B rising to the occasion as all of a sudden Bobby Williams is going backwards just outside of the top 5 now for the number 1B.
How about the run for the true rookie in a modified, the 87 to the H of Harley Dice? Again, traveled a lot in Oklahoma last weekend specifically to run USRA modified shows. Came away with a pair of runner-up finishes. Arguably a much tougher field here tonight, running 3rd and tracking down one of the sport's best in Terry Phillips.
No doubt it, making the town of Winona, Minnesota very proud tonight. Jake Tim stand up and holler, rolling into turn number 1. Harley Dice putting on a clinic around the bottom of the Lucas Oil Speedway. Good racing here. The top 3 kind of gotten separated as Brandon Davis doing what Brandon Davis does as he is marching out front to the beat of his own drum.
Harley Dice is going to catch the 75 of Terry Phillips. Watch the 87. He rotates at the bottom of the corner so well. He's going to roll by the 75 here in turns 1 and 2 with 3 laps to go. Harley Dice is on the move here tonight at Lucas Oil Speedway.
He's got one of my good buddies, Matt Grosso, turning the wrenches on that 87 for Harley Dice tonight. Rolling down to the bottom off of turn number 4, Harley Dice to the inside of the Hall of Famer Terry Phillips with 2 laps to go.
Dice will take over the 2nd spot. Phillips still 3rd. Brandon Givens from 19th to 4th, plus 15 on the night. So a fantastic run for the Cookie Monster. He's still dealing with some pressure from the 1B of Bobby Williams, though. Williams trying to charge back to the inside. That's an interesting battle in 3 and 4 as Terry Phillips hasn't given up on the youngster just yet. Dice still runs 2nd with just 1 lap to go. It's the Hochatown Saloon last call.
Final trip down the back boulevard. Phillips trying to get that 2nd spot back. Final trip down the back straightaway. He'll roll through 3 and 4, fresh off his first ever Featherlight Fall Jamboree last Saturday night with the USMTS. Returns to the USRA Nationals. Brandon Davis to victory lane on night number 1 of the USRA Nationals in the 50 to the 3rd.
Brandon Davis picks up the win here on night number 1, continues the streak of luck that he's had here recently. It all is going right now for the 50 to the 3rd of Brandon Davis. 2nd goes to the rookie Harley Dice. Terry Phillips comes home 3rd. Brandon Givens with a phenomenal run from the back of the field, 19th to 4th on the evening. And Bobby Williams rounds out the top 5. Alex Williamson finishes 6th, Nick Bittinger 7th, Kyle Brown 8th, Shadron Turner 9th, and Dean Willie completes the top 10 on the opening night here at the 11th Annual Summit Racing Equipment USRA Nationals presented by Racing Dirt.
If there's anything that we learned tonight, my friend, is that people should come here to this racetrack tomorrow and attend this event in person. And if you can't, if you already ordered Racing Dirt for the weekend, hey, you got it for the next 30 days anyway. You might as well tune back in and get us for a Thursday night nightcap. It's going to be a ton of fun tomorrow night as well. Tonight was phenomenal. I mean, it was just here a month ago. The USMTS racing out here a month ago was phenomenal as well. But I kid you not, I watched a lot of the broadcasts over the last few years with the Lucas Oil Series, a lot of different tours that have hit this racetrack. And I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn by saying this, but I feel confidently saying that that is some of the best racing that I have seen all year at any racetrack I've been to, and undoubtedly the best racing I've ever seen at the Diamond and the Dirt tracks here tonight. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, without a doubt, couldn't agree with you more. As we've got Trenton Berry down there awaiting the arrival of our 3A feature winners here this evening. It sounds like we're going to hot lap some hobby stocks real quick.
Why not?
Yeah, you know.